So the objects that we have discussed, and we are maintaining some tree structure as an organizational structure. That's what we discussed about organizational structure or organizational management is mostly about the organizational structure. For that, we require standard object types or data elements and OM relationships. So you can maintain some of the structure. For example, in a tree pole, like some structure, like for example, there is some PS PS Corporation Limited, for example, Corporation Limited. So under this PS Corporation Limited, you have, for example, PS Steels, and for example, you have some PS Motors Limited. All these private limited companies, for example, private limited. So essentially, what we are talking about, this is a type of a organizational structure that we are discussing. This is how you are, this is an example, PS Corporation Limited, for example. And under PS Steels Private Limited, you have, for example, you can have manufacturing unit and sales unit. Manufacturing unit and sales unit. Sales unit. And under motors, for example, you may have some HR department and some finance department. So we are maintaining, this is nothing but one kind of a structure. It is nothing but a type of a structure. So under, for example, further you can drill down under manufacturing unit. You can have some positions like say plant manager. Plant manager may be there. And there may be some plant supervisors. Plant supervisors. There may be 3 or 4 supervisors. Okay, so there may be plant workers. Some 6 or 7 workers may be there. So you under this one you are maintaining PS Corporation, under steel, under manufacturing, these positions are there. Under sales unit, you can have similarly sales manager, for example. You can have one sales manager. Some sales area leads, for example, sales area leads. Like this, you can have some sales executives, for example, sales executives. So what I'm trying to communicate is under HR department, you may have HR manager, HR lead, or HR executives. There may be some 6, 7 HR executives under HR department. Similarly, so this is an example of an organizational structure. So you are going to build a structure like this, organizational structure. So essentially what we have done is we have discussed about standard object types, and after that you have relationships. We have to discuss about relationships. Position and other things we have discussed. Job, position, org unit, task, all these things we have discussed. Then you have relationships. Let's talk about relationships. So I don't know earlier we have discussed or not, but let me go through it once again. Relationships are nothing but you are maintaining the object types. You are maintaining, for example, standard. You are maintaining standard object types, for example, and various standard object types you are maintaining, creating and maintaining. So these standard objects can be associated. These are associated with relationship. Associated with the relation. That's what a relationship is. Because it's part of OM, you can also call it as OM relationships. You can call it OM relationships. So this relationship is a three-digit code. Three-digit code. So three-digit number, and these relationships are reciprocal. Reciprocal. What is the reciprocal? It means that if you are maintaining one relationship, the reverse relationship is automatically maintained by the system. That's why it is called a reciprocal relationship. So how do you maintain relationships? Maintain relationships. How do you maintain? You can maintain in two ways. Two ways. One is A-type relationship. A-type relationship. Another one is B-type relationship. A-type relationship and B-type relationship. So what is A-type relationship and what is B-type relationship? Let's try to understand this. So for example, you are maintaining some HR manager. For example, you are maintaining some finance manager or HR man, whatever. Let me say finance manager. Now, finance manager, let me share some other screen. Okay, so let's understand. For example, I'm drawing this one. And I'm maintaining these two boxes, for example. So here, for example, you are maintaining some finance manager. Finance manager, for example. And here you are maintaining, for example, you are maintaining some finance executive. Okay, so this finance executive reports to the finance manager. Let me type it. Reports. This a finance executive reports to the finance manager. That's why I'm drawing like this. So when I say finance executive reports to the finance manager, it is a type of relationship. It's nothing but a OM relationship. What is that relationship? It is called the reporting relationship. So we can say that the finance executive reports to the finance manager. So this kind of a relationship can be specified in another way. How is that? You can say that the finance manager is the line supervisor. Finance manager is the line supervisor of the finance executive. I'm explaining it in the reverse way. In one way, we're saying that the finance executive reports to the finance manager. On the other way, I can say that the finance manager is the line supervisor. Line supervisor of the finance executive. I can say it in two ways. That's why I'm specifying the two arrows. So here the finance manager is actually a position. It is nothing but a position. And finance executive is nothing but a position. So this kind of relationship I'm maintaining in two ways. One is a finance executive reports to finance manager. Another one is finance manager is the line supervisor. So this type of a relationship, I can call it as A type of relationship. A type. Let me type it here. A type relationship. And this type of a relationship, I can call it as B type relationship. A type relationship and B type relationship. Now, when both these are a position, this is also position. Because of that, I'm maintaining the code as A002. And this one I'm maintaining as this relationship, I'm maintaining as B002. So I know that it is a A type relationship. So I'm adding A to the code. We discussed that relationship code is a 3-digit code. 3-digit code. The 3-digit code is this 002 is the 3-digit code. But this is a A type relationship. So I'm attaching this A to 002. So I'm typing A002. And this one is B002. So we can see that it is a two-way relationship. It's a two-way relationship. And it is reciprocal. Because superior need to know the subordinate information and subordinate need to know the superior information. Similarly, for example, if I create another thing, for example, I'm creating these codes. For example, let me type here some any position, say S1. Here I'm maintaining S2. Any two positions I'm maintaining. Let me maintain S2 here. Now, this relationship, we can call it as, for example, you are creating this relationship. You are creating this relationship. For example, you have created this relation, meaning S2 is reporting to S1. And if you leave it like that, then system will automatically create this relationship. You have created A002 relationship, system automatically creating B002. This is nothing but A002 relationship, and I leave it like that. I leave it like that. Then system is creating B002 relationship. For example, these two objects are there. You are creating B002 relationship like this and leaving it like that. Then system is automatically creating A002 again. So this is maintained. That is why it is called a reciprocal relationship. So in this case, I have taken the example of positions. Here also positions. I can also take the example of, for example, some of the other things. Any of the other thing. For example, a department and sub-department. This one is department. Similar system is behaving similarly. So I maintain A002. Now this A002 or B002 is happening because of the objects. In this case, these positions both are, in this case, both are org units. Org units. That is why this I'm maintaining A002. A type, B type relation will be similar. But this number may change based on the objects, whether it is a position object or organizational unit object. Based on that, it will be changing. So this number you need to remember. So let me go back to the notepad once again and we will check that. So I'm going back to the notepad. Here what I'm doing is we have maintained the finance manager. These examples we have maintained. Now comes the number. We know it's a 3-digit code. For that three-digit code, I am assigning this A type relationship or B type relationship. That is why I maintained like this. For example, I maintained A002 or B002. I maintained like that. I maintained. So similarly, you can go ahead and understand what are all these ready-madely you can maintain. For example, what is this A002 relationship types? So I can maintain these relationship types. For example, let me maintain relationship types. So these relationship types I'm maintaining, for example, A002. Blindly you can understand these numbers. For example, A002, I can use an organizational unit. An organizational unit reports to another organizational unit. B002. is nothing but reciprocal, because if I'm creating A002, system will automatically create B002. If I'm creating B002, system will automatically create A002. That's what we have seen in the example. So B002, I can say in the reverse way as per my example. An organizational unit is the line supervisor of another organizational unit. That's what we have seen in the example. Again, I can go for, again, I'm going for A002. For example, I can again go for A002 this time because I have taken position example also, like finance manager and finance. So you can say that a position reports to another position. Similarly, B002, you can say in the reverse way, a position is the line supervisor. Line supervisor of another position. So let's understand what is A003. For example, A003. A003, you can say a position belongs to an organizational unit. And B003, you should be able to immediately understand because it's a reciprocal relationship. Meaning an organizational unit incorporates a position. I can say it in the reverse way. An organizational unit incorporates, meaning it's actually the code is 003. I'm attaching A or B. If you create A, system will create B. If you create B, system will create A. Say I'm typing A007. A job describes a position. We have discussed about job and position. A job is describing a position. A person is hold in SAP, a person holds a position. He doesn't hold a job. So what is a job? You can say it describes a position. A007 relationship. Let me type B007. In the reverse way, I can say it, a position is described by a job, because we know that it is a reciprocal relationship, is a described by a job. Let me go for A008. Why I am typing all this? There are a lot of relationships, but these are the basic relationships that you need to understand. That's why I'm typing this, which are basic relationships. which we need to understand, and because we will be using it frequently. So I'm typing whatever is basic and everywhere, used everywhere when you are talking about SAP OM subject. A008. So you can say a position is occupied by a person. And in the reverse way, which is nothing but BW8, in the reverse way, I can say that a position, I can say in the reverse way, a person occupies a position. So person is nothing but the employee, is nothing but an employee in the OM. How do you specify an employee in the OM? You are specifying by a person. You are calling it as a person. Meaning Mr. Ashok or Mr. Suresh is occupying the HR manager position. That is nothing but B008 relationship. That's how we are calling it, B008 relationship. So these are the absolute basic relationships that you need to remember. Apart from that, we can talk about A011. For example, A011 relationship. Now A011 relationship, an organizational unit is assigned to a cost center. An organizational unit is assigned to a cost center. I can again use A011 relationship. A position is assigned to a cost center. So there is one exception to the relationships that we have talked about. One exception. Because cost center is an element of controlling team, meaning SCP FICO. FICO meaning finance and controlling. So cost center is nothing but an object of the controlling team. So that controlling area is defined under the chart of accounts. So we are talking about the OM module, and this B011 is not automatically created. Till now, whatever we have talked about till now, all these are nothing but A type, B type, A type, B type relationship we discussed about. This is the only exception in the entire OM module. B011 is not automatically created except A011 relationship. A011 relationship. All other relationships are two-way relationships. We talked about reciprocal relationship. We talked about. We are talking about reciprocal relationship. Yeah, here reciprocal relationship. Meaning, what is reciprocal? We have discussed it. If I'm creating A, system is creating B. If I'm creating B, system is creating A. What does it mean? It means it's a two-way relationship. It is always a two-way relationship. That is why we have maintained all the two-way relationship. All these are two-way, except this one. Except this one. There is, you are not maintaining B011. Our system is not automatically maintaining B011. We are not using B011 in any projects. In real time also, you will not use B011. But the question is it existing at all? B011 relationship existing? Yes, the answer is yes, it is existing. But we are not using it. In real time also, we are not using. Because organizational unit is an object of OM, position is an object of OM, and you are assigning it to a cost center. In the other way, we are not maintaining. Then you have, for example, A012, B011, let's leave it. Next, come to A012 relationship. You can forget about this relationship. A012. A position manages the organizational unit. B012 an organizational unit is managed by a position. It is the reciprocal relationship that you are maintaining. There are others like reverse pool assignment and other things. You have reverse pool assignment. You can maintain some other relationships. Lot of other relationships are there like B066, which is not very important, like B066 reverse pool relationship. Reverse pool you can maintain. Now, so system, this will close now, and you can log in after 15 minutes. The Zoom session will end now. You can log after 15 minutes.